Hello and welcome back to Young Climber. We have returned once again exploring the stories of Eswatini doing exceptionally well in their professions. And today we are talking about entrepreneurship across the borders of Eswatini. Joining us we have Vusani Matsebula exploring entrepreneurship, family and business within Eswatini still, beside being in a whole different country. Kolo, I'd like to welcome you to Young Climber.
Thank you very much for having me.
You know, you indeed have one of the most interesting, so I know I tell my guests that all the time, but you, every week, Nyamangala. So you have such an interesting story, but we always start with your background because we believe that's where you are molded to who you are today. Can you just talk about you growing up, you know, between your mom and your dad's home, and we'll get into the other parts of your life and how some of the early challenges in your life shaped you for who you are today?
Well, yeah, interesting. Well, I grew up from what they call a broken family. My dad and mom obviously broke up and they started using me to fight between each other, which really did affect my life a lot. But before I was looking at it as it was affecting my life, but I think it just shaped my life in the direction that God wanted me to go. It didn't really affect me. It was just reshaping me in a different direction. So yes, I did grow up with my mom and my dad staying in a different area, which was Munye, and my mom living in Babane. But somehow I managed to find myself staying with my mom because I ran away from my dad's place. Obviously due to family issues that were not really something I wanted. And of course I was regarded rebellious for doing that, but looking at it now, I believe it was just a way of me following a different direction. And it did shape me into what I am today. So I really don't regret that.
And I like that you were the one mentioning the rebellious part of your life, but which is long gone, long gone. But you started off in Fontaine Primary and then later you went to Sisegelo, known as the rebellious child. And like, can we talk about how you still excelled academically and how that discipline and that rebellion prepared you for entrepreneurship?
Yes, interesting. Well, primary-wise, I wasn't really aware of what I would consider intellect at this point. I was just living life. But when I reached to Segelo, well, just going backwards, I started in Fontaine Primary School, living with my mom, obviously, and my dad not involved in my life. Then I went to Mankayane High School. Obviously, my mom, that's what she could afford. And when I was in Mankayane in Form 3, I passed pretty well. And then my mom, wanting the best for me, she then approached my dad again to ask him if he can come on board.
My subsidies.
Yes. And my mom wanted me to go to a very good school. So they wanted me to either go to Segelo or Mananga or Waterford. So she sat down with me, convinced me to consider going back, living with my dad, because my dad obviously had the condition that if he gets involved, I will have to come and stay with him. Well, my mom convinced me and I did go back because obviously the vision was to go to a good school. Then when I got to Segelo, I believe that's when I started realizing that I am one of the smart people. Because in Mangani's school, I would get position 19, 20. But in Segelo, I'd get position 5, 6. And Segelo would be considered a place where there's more smarter people. So, but actually, I wouldn't say it was about being smart or not smart. I think it's about the environment. It's about the environment. Segelo was more allowing. You know, you had a place to study. You had teachers that attend to you personally. And those teachers would see something in you than when I was in Mangane, it was just going to make sure that I finish up. So that's what made everything interesting in terms of realizing that, okay, so that shaped my life a little bit and gave me a little bit of more confidence in myself.
Very beautiful. And then after matric, you were fortunate enough to be accepted into multiple universities in South Africa, but you couldn't attend because of finances. How did that disappointment fuel the direction you eventually took?
Well, yeah, that's a sad part of my story that really still hurts when I think about it, because, you know, I'm in Segelo High School where all the kids, when they finished, they went to university. And in my head also, I wanted to go to university out of the country because I wanted to do, I actually wanted to do something in accounting, but more in universities out of the country. And then I applied at Wits, Pretoria, and I was accepted in all these universities. But now it was time for payments, there's fees. So I went and tried to apply for scholarship, and it was promising, but I didn't get scholarship. And then my dad, obviously, he said he couldn't afford it because he had made a lot of debts trying to get me through Segelo High School. So for 2 full years, I sat at home, and I didn't go to university, and that I dipped into depression in a way. Well, looking at it now, I think that was literally depression. It hurt my mom. It really did hurt my mom. But God, knowing what He has planned, I also believe now that that's exactly what was shaping me for what I am now. Because not going to university, then I started working. Actually, the reason I started working is because my mom reported me to my big brother that I'm becoming a mess. You know, the only thing I was doing was
Which
drinking.
is very relatable to most of the youth of Eswatini. You know, they engage in
drinking, smoking, and not doing anything basically. And I was literally like that, waking up in the morning, go in the mountains, smoke, come back home, sleep every day for 2 full years. And then my big brother, who my mom reported me to, had a friend who had who was working for a company called Data Plus. And they were fixing printers, photocopying machines. So he kind of like asked him to just give me something, anything. And then they allowed me. I remember I was literally earning 400 rands a week. And to me that was enough because I was using her. But
maybe we also need to, you know, highlight the years so that people understand it a little bit better.
It was like the 2000s, 2003 or something like that. But you know, it was enough for me because I could buy food, I could buy the drinks, which is what I wanted to me. But that's where basically my life started, because the man that hired me at Data Plus saw the capability in me. I was not going to be an IT entrepreneur. I didn't have that plan. In my head, I wanted to be an auditor, actually, because I think I was good in accounts. Actually, my teacher in Segelo, Mr. Mano, is the one who made me believe that I'm good in accounts. Because I was good in accounts, and you know, other students in class, when they don't understand something, I would stand up and explain it to them. You know, that's why I really appreciate my life in Segelo, because it created a sense of confidence in me. So when I was working there at Data Plus, this man then took me for lessons. I started doing IT lessons because during the fixing, I never learned to fix printers in school, but I got there 3 months' time, I was good at it. Then he started sending me around the country fixing all these government photocopying machines. Then he also wanted to make money through computers, and he took me to Oxford to do A+. Then from there, I passed A+, and then I continued fixing these printers. Somebody who was also a client of this Mr. O, who had hired me at Data Plus, saw a potential in me as well, and stole me from there to now officially go and work for him in IT, fixing computers. I believe that's how my IT entrepreneurship started, because from there, a lot more happened that really dipped me into IT. Because obviously I was working for this company now doing IT for this guy. And then one day a guy came to the office looking for entrepreneurship. Internship. He had a degree. I had no qualification. So I gave him this opportunity. I told my boss I need help, and he worked for us for like 3 months. But to him, I was clever. He saw me as wise because I knew things that he didn't know. And I did help him to get a little bit of experience out of that. But that's the guy that actually then changed my life, because he worked for us for 3 months. He had a degree, got a job at Royal Swazi, he left.
Yeah.
1 year down the line, he recommended me at Royal Swazi.
But before we get into that story, you know, you're highlighting so many beautiful episodes of your journey that I feel like we need to reflect on and make them relatable to, you know, the young people that are watching.
Yes.
Just what this whole experience of being in IT and learning from others, what did it teach you about learning outside of the traditional classroom? Because now you're far ahead.
Yes.
Without the university part, just multiple IT certifications. What did that teach you about learning outside of the classroom?
Well, I started realizing that we are all programmed to go to school, study, finish, go to university. That's the only way. Get a job.
Yeah.
But that's not the only way.
Yeah.
That's not the only way, because literally I didn't go that direction as much as I wanted it, but the direction that I went turned up to be the best.
Yeah.
Because as much as it wasn't planned, I do believe also God comes into the picture here, where he probably had a direction that he wanted for me, because you don't necessarily have to follow that direction. You just need to allow yourself to be teachable, allow yourself to learn, have the will to learn. For me, that's how I became more informed and educated, basically, because I literally never went to university. But as I was working, I wanted to gain more skill, because to get a promotion, you need to have certain level of qualification.
Yeah.
So while I was at Royal Swazi, obviously there was a certification that you had to become an engineer, because I was hired as a learner engineer. So that made me start studying, but I didn't stop. So I went deep into studying Microsoft. I ended up becoming a Microsoft specialist. I ended up becoming qualified to actually teach other Microsoft people. And then from there, I started doing networking as well, but I was studying that on the side. So working, studying on the side, and I ended up starting to pay for myself just to do these courses. And it did help me to learn a lot more, and I believe that direction is basically more educative than just going to sit in university and learn one degree.
Yeah.
So, but I did ended up going to university as well.
At some point.
Correspondence.
So you're not saying abachindi.
No, I'm not saying that. No.
Yes,
Because there's certain things you will learn
at
university. It's just that you mustn't only look at that, and then because if that doesn't work, then you will think nothing will work.
Yeah.
Because that 2-year depression of mine was caused by the fact that I didn't go into university, but it was in the end.
Yeah.
You know, and there was more opportunities that I didn't see at that time. So what I would advise young people out there is that, no, what you don't have, it doesn't mean it's the end for you. Just try and use what you have around you at that moment. But most of the time we suffer because of money. In terms of going to university, going to college, there's nobody to fund you. The government is offering scholarships and everything, but some people don't get it, like I didn't get it. But that doesn't mean it's the end.
Yeah.
So I would advise and give a strong point on that don't think that if you don't win in the direction that we are all told is the only one, then it's the end, because it's not.
Very beautiful words from you there, but we'll take a short commercial break. When we return, we talk about the transition now from just the land of milk and honey to, what do you call it, the land of what?
I don't know what to call it, the world of Zanzibar.
Yeah, the world of, but then we talk about the transition to now moving from, you know, Eswatini all the way to Tanzania, but that is only when we return. Welcome back to Young Climber. If you just tuned in today's episode, we are hosted by the American Corner all the way in Manzini at the Manzini Library. It's a space for all eMaSwati to enjoy, so make sure you check them out, book your slot, and come and be inspired and do your work in a place that speaks, you know, it speaks a sense, ne? You can feel it in the room, right? You surely agree. And in today's episode, we are joined by Mr. Vusani Matsebula. We've been unpacking your educational journey, your school journey, your journey in Eswatini. But now, let's talk about where the script, well, it did flip a couple of times before, but where it flipped for real,
Yes.
Yeah, completely. When you were pushed to then go and work in Tanzania from Eswatini. Can you just talk about that transition? How was it for you? And did you ever think about, oh, will I survive? It's another one of those African countries. And what pushed you to then take that risk?
Yes. Well, going to Tanzania basically was the beginning of my entrepreneurship journey, unplanned.
Yeah.
And even going to Tanzania itself was unplanned. I was working at Vusani for 4 years as an IT engineer. And the system that we use there in the casino, I kind of like learned it on my own and I started maintaining it on my own. So the owners of the system are from South Africa.
Yeah.
So after that 4 years, I was going through a situation at Vusani and I just decided to leave.
Yeah.
So, and go and try and make a plan in Joburg. So I went to Joburg for a whole year. I tried to hustle it and things didn't really work out. Money ran out. And God's work again, the same person who was owning the system at Vusani they were opening a casino in Tanzania. So they were looking for somebody who could maintain the system for them. And he fished me and he found me at the right time. Then I went to Tanzania. When I got to Tanzania, that's where I started every business that I have right now. Leap Taxi app was born there. Let's Go Zanzibar, Let's Go Africa was born there. I do believe just going out there kind of like opened up my mind somehow. Because
you were like, let me leverage on my being here.
Yes. But honestly, looking back, it's just that I never realized that I had that entrepreneurship in me.
Yeah.
Because in high school at Segalo, I ran the tuck shop.
Yeah.
When I was staying in Babane and Fontaine, I was running a video shop, charging batteries for people. But it wasn't planned like I'm doing business. It was just like, I'm going to make extra money. But then when I got to Tanzania, then it got deeper because that's when I registered all the companies that I have. Well, not at the same time, but one by one. But Tanzania did open up my mind in a very unique way. Opportunities there are more visible. And things are easier to do. And then that's where I started thinking, you know what, I'm going to open this business. Actually, the first one, which is Let's Go Zanzibar, was done just because I got to Tanzania and then I took a vacation to Zanzibar just with my family. Yeah, but when I was there, the hotel had 500 rooms and there was only 2 black people, me and my wife.
Yeah.
So that was to me like, why are people not here? Then I thought maybe people think it's like impossible to get there. So I then started creating packages just for people to go there, and that turned out to be a business because people wanted to go to Zanzibar. Right now, I have taken more than 2,700 Swazis to Tanzania in the past 6 years to Zanzibar. So it turned up into a business like that. But while I was there, I also continued with my studies and I also started my university degree while I was there, specifically because I wanted to go deeper into programming. Yeah, that's the only reason I actually did the certification, the degree, and for me to get the permits there, I had to have a certain level of qualifications. Yeah. When I finished the degree, then I went deeper into programming, and then that's when I thought, we don't have a taxi app in Swaziland. Why is Uber not coming here? I researched, I found out why they're not. Yeah. And then I was like, let me try and make my own. So I started working on it. It took me 3 years. Obviously, I didn't build the app alone, but I didn't go and partner with people to build it. I paid people to build it. Yeah, like the certain codes that you will need from people. So I paid them and the programming started from there. My entrepreneurship life then went deeper. So in Tanzania, I am actually employed, working in the casino industry. Still. Well, I started with 1 casino. Now we have 3 casinos and sports betting and online casino as well. But at the same time, I'm running the businesses here at home, multitasking and everything.
Which is actually, sorry, what I want to get into, you know, the doing everything simultaneously.
Yes.
Firstly, maybe if you don't mind, can you please just define the nature of your job, because it cannot be easy to run a
Yes.
casino, just one, let alone four or how many ever. And then you are a family man, and then you are also an entrepreneur with not just one business, not two, not three, but four. Like, there is no way. But there's a relation.
Yes, there is.
All systems.
There is. The formula is you cannot do everything by yourself.
Yeah.
You have to build a team, which is the most difficult part. Because building a team, you have to find people with the same passion as you, the same vision as you. So me being employed there, I had to build a team as well, which also kind of like taught me how to build a team on my own, because we are a professional company. We've grown from small to big.
Yeah.
So those experiences also give me an experience to grow my business, how to run the businesses.
Yeah.
So I learned that you have to build a team. You have to find people you can trust. It takes a long time. You hire, you fire, you hire, you fire.
Eish.
But you do find people with passion. And one thing I can say is I've noticed that it's not about being qualified. I promise you, you can look for an accountant and you find the one who has qualification and that they don't do the job well. Yeah. But you find one who doesn't have the qualification, but they know how to do it. So you just need to find somebody with passion.
Yeah.
And then when you find that person, even if they don't have a certain skill to do something, you can teach them or allow them to go to a certain school and learn that skill. Only if you see that they have that special skill, that capability to be an independent, to be a go-getter, to want to learn, not people who you will have to monitor and stuff. Especially for me in Tanzania, the businesses are in Swaziland. I cannot stay there monitoring people. Yeah. So you need to find the people that they will take the thing and run. So it's very hard, but it's doable. Yeah. So I managed to balance things between those two, and that's how I managed to run things.
But your journey is also like, it sparks the debate of passion versus profession.
Yes.
Because you are still deep within your job.
Yes.
Like, I am not going anywhere
here.
And when young people get jobs and then they start a business that works nyana for them,
Then
they're
they
like,
stop the job. Yes.
Resignation later. But hey, mina sector focus angala. Why have you, as a seasoned entrepreneur, not left the job for the, I'd say the passion, the profession for the passion?
There's two reasons. One of them is loyalty. The person that hired me in Tanzania basically sat down with me before even giving me the job. He flew all the way to Tanzania to meet me at the airport to interview me. He told me very straight that, Vusani, I know you have the skill I can see here, but I want you to give me your loyalty. A casino is like a bank in a way. It's money. And me being in IT, I'm controlling the movement of the money and the things happening in the casino. So when he made that request, I kind of like went deep into it. And I gave him my loyalty in such a way that even if someone in Tanzania can come and say, hey, can you do this for me? I just refuse. I refer them to someone else because I don't want conflict. I don't want to expose myself to other things because he was very straight of that. So one of them is loyalty is the reason I haven't left, one of them. But secondly, it's because that job that I have there is what helped me to build everything that I have for the businesses. You need money to run, to start a business. You need money to actually establish a business. And the businesses that I set up, like the taxi app, it doesn't immediately start generating income, you know. And building that on its own is quite costly. So basically my job is like the pillar that assists me to just fund my businesses.
Look at you now. Look at you now. But I think especially our fellow brothers and sisters here in the Kingdom of Eswatini. I know that you were picked out of a crowd, but spotting opportunity across the borders. Can we talk about that? How important is it for Emaswati to not just think, this is where I have to find my being and move, but how can we also like find opportunities in other African countries, to be specific?
Well, I will answer that question out of my experience, and that is, I literally went to Tanzania And then I started seeing opportunities.
Yeah.
If I didn't go to Tanzania, I was not going to see opportunities. I saw the potential when I was there. The travel agent potential is because I saw it there.
Yeah.
So I would really advise people not to confine themselves into one area. And honestly, moving away from the place you grew up from, I know this can sound wrong, but don't get stuck there, because your mindset will remain the same.
Yeah.
Like, this is how things are, and this is how I should live.
Yeah.
Try and move yourself to a different place. You know, just go somewhere for a short time. Take a vacation. Or if you have a friend in South Africa, go and see them for a week. Go to Angola, go there. You see opportunities. You know, there's something they call the red card theory. The red card theory is if you're driving from here to Mbabane and you pass 7 cars that are red, and you will not notice them because you didn't think about noticing them.
Yeah.
But if I tell you before you leave here that I'll give you 20 rands for each red car that you see, on your way to Mbabane, you will tell me exactly how many red cars are there.
Yeah.
So that is spotting opportunity. That's basically putting your mindset and yourself in a position to see things, to see opportunities.
Yeah.
So I believe that the only way for that to happen is if you expose yourself to these opportunities, because opportunities are not going to expose themselves to you.
Yep.
You need to expose yourself to them and then grab them. So that's how I basically live my life, that everywhere I go, I see opportunity. I actually see a way I can fix or improve things. And that way I consider it opportunity.
Beautiful. So in a nutshell, if you don't look for it, you definitely won't see it. But I wish I could get more out of you. You know, I feel like the conversation just started, but we are at the final infamous question, you know, the legacy that you are hoping to leave behind as Vusani Matsebula. And firstly, I'd just like to commend you, because as much as you are encouraging Eswatini to get out of the country and do work in other places, you're still giving back to your community one way or another, without even being here, which is what makes your story so unique. But lastly, what legacy do you hope to leave behind for those that you have birthed, those that are now looking up to you, and a young person, Walana Ekaya Eswatini, who's just feeling hopeless and seeing that bit of inspiration or motivation from watching this specific episode?
I want to make my parents happy. My mom happy. She stood by me a lot ever since, and I feel like she's proud right now, but I want to keep her proud. And I want my kids, when they grow up, to, you know, I come from a family, when you look generations back, there's nothing that looks stable. It's just blank. Like, we're supposed to be living in poverty. We inheriting poverty. I don't want that for my kids. I don't want that for the generation that will come after me. I don't want them to inherit poverty. I want them to find a foundation that I built, and I believe they will continue on that foundation, because if I have this mentality, I'm sure somebody in my generation will, in the next coming generation, will have this mentality. So I'm going to create the foundation in a way that I'm not intentionally thinking or wanting to be a billionaire or whatever. No, I just want to be comfortable, but I want to set the foundation so stable that the ones that follow, they find it and continue from there.
But thank you so much, Vusani, for joining us. What a spectacular story. And all I can say is that, you know, just continue that fire within you burning bright, and, you know, live up to your name everywhere you go. And to you for honoring our invitation. Asante.
Asante, thank you very much.
That was Vusani Matsebula Babugele Makaya with such an inspirational story. We hope that this is what touches all the lives of the youth here in the Kingdom of Eswatini. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. But we will be seeing you next week, Tuesday, again at 6:30, when we bring you yet another inspirational story here in the Kingdom of Eswatini. But from us today, it is good night and God bless.